Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jamie and this will be a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. If you're new to tarot, there are some rules here. We'll start with the fact that this is meant for millions of people, and so it's not going to resonate with all of you. Just discard it if it's not your reading. Check out the next one or check out your other placements. You'll probably find it there. There also is no gender. Male or female on the cards may resonate like an emperor, empress, king, or queen, but they don't have to. The card really just describes a personality, so you'll definitely know who we're talking about. If you'd like to book a private personal, the information is in the description of the video. I also offer a membership. If I do any extended readings for the public, you can only access those there. You also get discounts on readings, members-only videos, members-only live chats, mental health information, and live question and answers with those, and of course some tarot lessons. So I'm just pulling the overall energy with the oracle. We'll clarify with the tarot, and then I'll grab some advice in the end. Okay, so we have identity confusion. Has difficulties determining who they are in relation to others. The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. And the tranquil oasis. I design my tranquil space. Just as meditation quiets the mind, a tranquil space brings peace to my environment. I simplify and organize my surroundings to cultivate an environment of peace. I am relaxed and at ease in my body, and my home is a tranquil oasis. We have the Four of Cups as the overall energy, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and the challenge is the Eight of Wands. Here's the thing with this, is I feel like you're feeling pretty rejected. You could feel like somebody can't really see the blessing that you are. You know, in fact, this person may not be able to see the blessings they have in life at all. They could just be pretty apathetic. They could be ungrateful. Something's not reciprocated here, and it's painful for you. And I feel like here, whatever this rejection is, it directly is basically hurting your ego. There's something to do with your self-esteem that really gets caught up in this idea of rejection. So I feel like here we're isolating with the tranquil oasis, trying to sit in our own energy and have some peace to kind of, I think, get over this. But the problem here is moving past it, obviously, right? Here's the weird thing, right, is I think that someone is unable to see you clearly, you don't really either, hence the identity confusion. There's something here where it's like, if you feel rejected or you get disappointed, somehow it changes how you feel about yourself. You start to become more insecure about your looks. You may not have as much confidence. You feel like, you're not as motivated as usual. So it's like, because you're not exactly sure who you are, like deep within, I think that people can easily knock you off. If somebody rejects you, which makes you feel like you're not good enough, it confirms something within yourself, and then boom, that's the truth. When it really could be something with them. They could be rejecting you because they don't feel like they're good enough for you. But you actually take it really personally. Or this could just be like a situation where it's like, if you feel like you could just have this general overview that like most people end up disappointed in you, like just really, I feel like it's just this weird, like, negative sense of self, and then this tendency to really, like, isolate after something happens here. Like, if you feel the least bit rejected, or you feel like somebody's doesn't care what you have going on, like, I think that people, when they invalidate you, it's like, it has the ability to literally rock you. Like, you could just be out for weeks, months, and it takes a long time to gain your confidence back up and to kind of move on from something. But the real problem here is that energy where it's like, I don't want to say this in a mean way, but I want to say it in a way where it's like, you have to think about how self-focused or self-centered a person is. If someone else tells them no and they decide it was because of everything that they ever did, everything that they are, it's like, maybe it's not about you. Sometimes things just aren't about you, Now, let's say that there was somebody that you had a romantic interest in, and it wasn't reciprocated. They didn't feel the same way, and you feel rejected over this, right? So now you're sitting here, losing your mind, crying about what could have been, instead of paying attention to what could be in the future. It's rejection is sometimes projection, but also it's natural. Like, you got to think about it. What does rejection really mean? Nothing. I mean, people can't just be with every single person that wants to be with them, right? Like, you have to reject a couple of people in life. If somebody feels like they're not, what you're looking for, or you're not what they're looking for, they're saving you the trouble by rejecting you, telling you no. If somebody discards you, it doesn't actually have anything to do with you. Normal people probably would, go ahead and break up with somebody in a way that made sense and was respectful. There's just something here where not everything that everybody else does, even if it affects you, really was all about you. You don't have to take it so fucking personally, to the point where you're just sitting out crying about shit, hiding away, and deciding that you're not worth anything if somebody affirms that in you, even if that's not what they mean to do. Now, this rejection doesn't have to be romantic either. This could be something simple, say, we're here at tarot, right? Say I put out some readings and there's going to be a couple of assholes that, make me feel rejected. They're going to say something, they're not going to appreciate what I'm doing, something like that. And instead of paying attention to the people who love my content and going hard for them, I just fall the fuck apart over the 3-4 people who don't like me, instead of letting them just suck my dick and keep it moving, Some of you need to come into that attitude. Gotta jump over to the Cancer readings and watch those so you can get sassy with us. The Knight of Wands, Strength, Leo energy, the Nine of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, I have Temperance, the Nine of Wands, and the Six of Cups. For some of you, this is some childhood shit. That, you know, like from the family system, somebody invalidated you when you were young. They made you feel like you weren't good enough. You always felt rejected by this person. And now it's like if the simple person has something negative to say about you or just criticizes you in the smallest way, you just fall into a million pieces. So, to me, I'm feeling like you can overcome some type of blockages here, but I feel like it really comes down to, again, self-esteem is what I keep getting. Like this fear that other people won't accept you or that people don't like you. Most people don't like them fucking selves, Taurus. How are they going to like you? Do you know that? Like, I'm here on a public platform. If I was going to fall apart every time somebody said something nasty to me, I'd be at like a million times falling apart now. Those people just don't fucking matter. You know what I mean? Like, you can't let people make you... People will do this, you know, they project their energy. They want you to feel like how they feel. And so they're... It's working, though. You're an easy target for some people, you know? If all I have to do is say, hey, whatever you're doing is stupid, and I might be wrong for doing that, but it actually makes you just fall apart and not do it anymore, give up, run out of fuel, and sit around in your head all the time, then really I'm winning without even really trying to. You know, a lot of times people just say shit in the moment. And for a lot of you, this isn't even people like, you know, if this is romantic, it's obviously personal. But for some of you, this really is like some online shit. You make a public post on Facebook and somebody disagrees with what you're saying, so they just tear you down completely. They tell you you're like some fat, ugly slut or something, you know what I mean? So you just take that like it's the truth and fall apart and delete your Facebook and hide out in the house for 6 weeks. That is an extreme fucking reaction to something that did nothing to the other person. They were just being an asshole for 30 seconds behind a keyboard where they're tough. This is not even shit they would say to people in regular life. In fact, if you saw how they were living in regular life, they'd shut the fuck up and never, ever say anything to anybody. Those are the people that are always saying something. Miserable, salty, ain't got shit motherfuckers. Always have something to say. You're not going to see successful people trying to tear you down. It's just not a thing. And you need to start looking at things like this. But the real problem here is how you feel about yourself and how you allow other people to affirm these negative thoughts of self. Some of you need to really look into what this is. And why that might be a thing. Because some of you might actually need to like maybe work with a therapist or something like that, where someone can train you how to think appropriately in these situations like I just did. Hey, did you ever think that maybe it's a miserable bitch and that it's not actually that personal? In fact, you should take it as a compliment. Yeah, it's just different thought training. You know, cognition is everything. It creates emotion, behavior, and that's exactly what's going on here. Some of you really have to dig up some old childhood shit and look at the parenting style of invalidating you and how much that's affected you and how you keep chasing around people that are invalidating, attempting to prove your worth to them versus just dealing with the people who already see it. I was going to say, there could be like 4 people who really don't like me, so I do everything in my power to impress them. And now the people who really fuck with me are like, that's some really fake shit. Like, what is that? You know? I'm not paying attention to the people who support me or care about me. I don't see myself as a good person despite having all those. You know, because there's always these 2 cups back there. You still have some love and support in your life. You're just paying attention to the motherfuckers who wouldn't love or support anyone, including themselves. Like, I don't think you understand that you're taking an issue that... This would be like that commenter on the internet They said something really mean to you and you took it personal, but really if you were to look into their history, they said that shit to 20 other people too. So, or that's just who they are as a person, you can't fall apart every time somebody has an opinion about you, because they're like assholes and everybody's got one. But whether their opinion is fucking negative as shit and full of judgment has a lot more to say about them than it does you. In the advice, we have the Three of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and Death. Pisces, Scorpio energy. Bottom of the deck, the Eight of Swords and the Devil. I'm telling you, it's like a pathology here. Where other people and how they feel about you really allows you to recreate and redraw a whole story of yourself. Like you don't know yourself and you didn't go through your experiences or something like that. It's really strange, but I feel like for a lot of you, this is just a social situation. And you may actually see this type of problem in all these situations. This could, like I said, the Three of Pentacles can always be like a public platform. Some of you do this, and it's very hard to stay on when people are constantly invalidating you. It's like you could have an online business, an online platform where people are paying attention. This could be in the workplace, but this could also be like comparing, your situation and your life to other people, feeling like you're not where you're supposed to be and shit, but all of it really comes down to how you're thinking about yourself and your cognitions, period. We'll get into that in a second. Some of you need to change your mind about society as a whole, people as a whole. Some of you, because a part of identity confusion, feel that other people are like you as well. And what I mean by this is like, when you look at pathology, right, I always kind of like use a thief as an example. Okay? If you go to a thief's house, you might notice everything's locked up, put away, and they're watching your every move to make sure you don't take anything from them, because their pathology is thief. And so they believe other people would also take from them, because that's a natural behavior in humans to them. People who are good people think everybody has good fucking intentions towards them until they get stabbed right in the back. And there was 1,000 red flags that they just never picked up because their intentions were good, so they just decided for themselves other people's were too. Could be like, well, they're not really being mean, they're just giving constructive criticism, and I'm really bad at taking criticism because I'm a piece of shit. Like, yeah, or they could be. There's just something here where, like, you're not getting the bigger picture of, you're not who other people necessarily say that you are, but here it's more changing, I want to say, the actual cognitive process that you have here. So I want to say that some of you, this is like a real, like, mental health issue that you have always dealt with. The negative ideas about self, the ideas about how other people feel about you really truly matter, and that they have a better perspective of who you are than you do, that people have good intentions or that they have terrible intentions. You got to really think about the people out there who are not good people and how they talk about other people. They talk about other people like they're monsters, but they're not accountable and they don't change. And I feel like that's kind of the energies that you're dealing with here, but you're so a little bit stuck on yourself that you really can't understand that half the shit just isn't about you. So there's two problems there. One is you have a society that's just rude and nasty, and they feel real comfortable disrespecting people. You know what I'm saying? And then there are people who are just too fucking sensitive. They can't take any form of criticism without falling apart. They can't figure out who they are in relation to other people. Like... So while you're over here and you're isolating, you got to start paying attention to, again, your thinking pattern that leads you into this emotional, I want to say despondency, like over what someone else says or does, or what they have that you don't, and so on and so forth. Like, it's just irrelevant to your life. And You got to really not let people who hate on you affect you. That's the whole idea. You know, nothing gets to a bitch more than just not giving a shit what they have to say. You know what I mean? Like, people who are invalidating to you, you need to return that energy. Invalidate what the fuck they are saying. You get what I'm saying? Like, here's the thing is, like, if you come for me and I give you nothing, I immediately win. Why would I give you clout? You can just look like a clown over there arguing with yourself. And look like a clown over there having to say shit about people who don't even attack you or have anything to say back to you. Instead of falling apart over it, just, okay, you're a piece of shit, next. I really feel like that you have to sit with your thoughts and kind of like figure out where this really comes from. For most of you, it's as a child. You have like a really invalidating, fucked up parent. And their opinion shouldn't matter either. Okay, I'm out of here.